one to soil my trousers violently, how concerned should I be about this whole rift situation?
I love these intros sometimes. Alright, so we gotta go up there and talk to the head honcho of the Order over here and try to get him on our side.
Master Manpuku. Who? Manpuku.
Yo, what's up, Joda? How's it going?
Good to see you again. I had hoped we could speak earlier, but no matter. A little time remains. You are a crucial variable in the solution to a critical problem. Since the unfortunate end of the peace talks, Gertie and I have kept in communication, and we believe it is still possible to get the Order and Auntie's Choice to work together. When you go in to speak with the presiding bishop, please raise the issue with her. I assure you this is the correct thing to do, for yourself, for us, for Arcadia.
I understand, I'll bring it up to Ruth.
Farewell. I would say good luck, but I put no stock in chance, only probability. May the plan favor us against long odds.
What the hell? Okay.
The Order has always proclaimed patience as a virtue, but I am pleased my waiting is finally at its endpoint. For so long, you have only existed as numerical values on a chart. A bright star in a constellation of possibilities, as it were. Now with your arrival, the Order nears the totality of its goals, provided you are willing to stay aligned with our cause.
Make any commitment until I know whose goals are.
Prudent. Now then, I gather you already know who I am, but science has shown that good manners strengthen developing relationships by 5.3%. So, allow me to introduce myself. I am Ruth Basar, third presiding bishop of the Order of the Ascendant, supreme calculator, and, plan willing, the architect of Arcadia's prosperous future.
It's an honor to meet you, Presiding Bishop.
I admit, when I sent my initial message, I did not exactly know who its recipient would be. But I trusted the plan, and lo and behold, it provided you as the solution. Your recent exploits at Greater Tranquility Station have certainly made for compelling reading material. Confronting an assassin, and thereby sparing the delegates' lives before the rift inexplicably destroyed the station? Such a commendable effort is worthy of acknowledgement.
Who else would have done the same
If
thing?
your actions were so easily imitable, then we would not be speaking right now. Accept the credit. However, there's something of even greater import we must discuss. It's recently come to my attention that secret communications have been exchanged between Laplace's garden and the undisputed claim. Do you know anything about that?
Lord Levin has expressed the desire to resume negotiations. I think he's right.
I should have known. Vicar Levin has made this appeal to me at least thrice since his return. He really cannot accept a solution he did not devise.
Consider you a wise leader, Bishop, wise enough to see potential benefits here.
Wise enough to recognize the perils, too. But the right course often involves remaining open to new possibilities. I will put the question to you one final time. Are you certain you would rather pursue this path than work exclusively with the Order? There will be no future option to reconsider.
Sure, I want entities in order to work together.
Then I will endeavor to bring that vision to fruition, if the plan wills it. A true in-person meeting between myself and Auntie could never take place due to the security risks. but perhaps a remote conference could be a viable alternative. The odds of you persuading Auntie Cleo to agree are unfavorable, but the math does improve if you have greater standing within her corporation.
Go talk to Ruth, go talk to Auntie. Why am I always the one stuck doing legwork? I'll do whatever it takes to earn the audience with her.
Once you have met with Auntie, instruct her to send me a communique. We can finesse the details of a conference then.
Virgo, I have some questions for
My
you.
time is yours, for the moment.
How does one become presiding bishop of the order?
Oh, the Laureate Council simply draws a name out of a hat.
That seemed very scientific.
Go figure. In reality, I was recommended for my position by the preceding bishop. Paired with my skills as a seer, I was the natural choice when it came time for the council to vote.
Like you were anointed more than elected. The last presiding bishop recommended
My
you.
predecessor, presiding Bishop Orlo, and I had a close working relationship. He knew I possessed the skills and temperament for the role. I counted him a friend. Orlo shared with me his doubts about the Order's partnership with the Protectorate. The compromises made. He had many such regrets at the end of his life.
See, annihilation tends to have that effect on people. You think Orlo would approve everything you've done as bishop?
Likely not. But it is the responsibility of every student to surpass their mentor in understanding and sentiment. And I can reliably assert that I have done that.
There's a lot of trouble to recreate Eden's conditions here in Cloister. Why?
Call it proof of concept. Laplace's garden is more than its aesthetic. It offers a vision of a future free from the despotic rule of narrow-minded jingoists, where the fruit of the plan can finally ripen. It saddens me to see the garden so despoiled by our wartime presence. But with the loss of Spiretown, necessity dictated we quarter here in the interim.
Taking your time to indulge in my curiosity. I'll be going
May
now.
you achieve progress in accordance with the plan.
Failed to cite her work completely. I worked with presiding Bishop Orlo, you know. Now there was a serious scientician.
Level 24, and guess what, guys? We can get that perk I've been wanting to get so bad. I think. Yes, Lucky Strikes. Plus 100% crit damage. Deals 20% of nearby's hostile health and damage on killing with critical hit. So we're getting that, without a doubt. I'm wondering if I'm going to need a higher speech to convince Auntie Cleo, you know, since she's more consumerism kind of stuff, you know. Then, no, we need one more level before we can actually give our companions a perk. Put the gun away.
Lovely day for differential geometry.
I like the fog, it looks really cool.
Hello, layperson.
Oh, hello. Cogitate here often?
Talk with him.
I believe our group's combined efforts are in direct accordance with the plan.
Alright, everything seems to have went smoothly.
Let's pinpoint what you and I can accomplish for the Order. I scarcely take time to engage in idle conversation, but perhaps this will be illuminating in some fashion.
You know anything about people in Lopez's garden being drugged via water
Who
supply?
told you about that?
I think I give it my
Were
source to you.
there an experiment being conducted here involving any kind of medicament? Confirming its existence would compromise it. The theoretical existence or non-existence of Order experiments are strictly within the Order's purview. It doesn't concern you.
I get a job of concerning myself with things that don't concern me.
are giving me cranial neuralgia. If you really want to bother someone about this, bother Beckett. Maybe he'll predict your arrival.
What's that broken contraption on the table in front of you?
Specifically, a phlogistinated firearm, capable of tunneling through reinforced armor. Broadly, weaponry, research, anything capable of giving our exemplars an edge.
Know my way around guns. Pretty sure I could fix that.
Great. I was just thinking, I'd love for a stranger to come along and patronize me so I could blindly hand them experimental order technology.
You've known the presiding bishop for a while, right? What do you think of her?
I have nothing but respect for Ruth. Without her guidance, the Order may never have found the strength to dissolve its protectorate bonds. If I had to dig for the smallest critique, I'd note that she shoulders too much. If she collapses beneath the strain, the Order will be rudderless. This we cannot afford.
That's enough.
I generally prefer to keep discussions relevant.
Let's cut through the garden. Head down here real quick. There's something that we can do over here, I believe, because we've got 11 engineering now. Yep. Let's do this.
Oh, praise the architect. I hear water running. Come see, it's beautiful.
All right.
I'd provide compensation, but isn't the garden's beautification a reward in and of itself? Feel that reduction in annoyance? That's a quality program.
It seems they've gotten the fountains working again. Feel that fine mist on your face. Do not think about the aerosol contaminants floating in it. In what manner can I assist you?
His quest we can't do because for whatever reason, that area that we were trying to get to, where I'm pretty certain it's at, we can't get to currently. So I'm assuming that perhaps further down the road in the story, I'll probably unlock a way in there. But till then, I can't really progress his or her quest over there. So we'll have to wait and see. But pretty much now we have to go to the other planet because I think I've done just about everything that's on this planet as far as I can currently. So we're going to have to advance to the next planet. We've had it unlocked for a little bit. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, we're pretty much kind of hit a wall at this point in a sense, I guess you could say.
Those fools! Protectorate subjects should know better than to attack a Protectorate arbiter. I had no choice but to judge them as traitors to the Protectorate. Why would they simply open fire? Why wouldn't they attempt to conversate?
Maybe they thought you were a traitor.
And they should have reported me to their superiors rather than attempting to exact justice themselves. I shall continue to answer slights of this nature through violence. But hopefully, I shall not need to do this more than a few times.
Look at our journal. We're gonna go over here first. Just because I'm genuinely curious what this is about.
I recall this place. These stations have been automated since my day, though this one has certainly accrued dust. Odd that it would be in a state of lockdown. I have a general override that should allow us entry, but anything specific to local systems, including security systems, may be beyond me. Places. These security measures should not be operational. And the station seems to be on reserve power. We'd best tread carefully.
Ask how I managed to get past those little traps in the floor, but like, okay. I kind of just got lucky there. Another trench shotgun. Ride Sentry Security and Unseal Central Processing. Latest announcements. With the inception of the new line of listening posts, I've heard some mutterings that this outpost no longer requires the presence of a dutiful tenders, and that we shall all soon find ourselves replaced with automated systems and sent to serve the Protectorate elsewhere. Do not allow these rumors to bring about idleness. Be sure to replicate the data you're tasked with managing. What is innocent today may be seditious tomorrow. Docking logs. Error docking log purged. If it was due to malfunction, please contact technician. If it was due to malevolence, please contact the arbiter. Okay.
Well, no one is here, lying in ambush. Perhaps some stray systemic error activated the entryway defenses. We'd best first report to security ops. Lift this lockdown. From there, we can set about reactivating the station's primary power, which will allow us to explore unhindered. It seems our intelligence was correct. There's clearly a door here, and I would hazard that we'll be able to open it somewhere on station.
That's where we might look.
We should make sure the station is at full power. If there's an override, that's the only way it will work. Let us go. I feel a strange sense of nostalgia being here, and I do not enjoy it.
What?
Is that a footprint in the dust? This station shouldn't have received visitors in years. Be on guard. Someone else may be here.
Prism heavy revolver. Odd. Chalkboard is head page, half erased statements, notes, scribbles, and all layer on top of one another. It's difficult to make anything legible, let alone useful.
My passcode shall not work on this terminal. Unlocking it may be a creative endeavor.
Tongue lifted. Sealed ceiling. Security room is precautionary measure. Enter passphrase in seal room. Note: improper passphrases will result in reprisal from the automated defense. Room will be unsealed afterward to allow custodians to retrieve your corpses. Press keys at random and hope. Seal go to Sovereign's blessing. Nice.
Good effort lifting the lockdown. We may now reactivate the station in the reactor room.
Pure luck. Just pure luck. That's how we did that.
Yeah.
Because we would have unleashed all those big ass robots on us if we did that. I want to see where this leads. Always just love how, like, you know, just based purely off of luck, we managed to open the doors and stuff, you know?
The reactor activation circuits shall likely be dysfunctional. It's a known issue with these old stations. Let me look. Corroded transistors, dust in the actuator. Did a sprat gnaw on this? Sweet sovereign, what a mess. There. I think I have it. Let us hope my override does not trigger any security alerts.
Store power.
Good. This should avail us of a much simpler search. Let us return to the central room once more and see if anything seems out of place. I am. I cannot say I have had to search for a hidden switch in a protectorate holding before. Keep watch. It could be rather small and...
Oh boy, here we go.
I'm certain of movement below. Gird yourself.
Passcode is Limber. No.
Luther Okada.
Let's try Amulet. No. Wingtip. No. Sovereign's Gavel. I should remember this. Damn it.
I don't think you're supposed to be here.
Oh! Wait. Oh, no.
Stay whatever fool words you ready in your defense, for they shall avail you not. I accuse you of trespassing upon the private domain of the Sovereign. For these crimes... Wait, I know you. Luther Okada? What in blazes are you doing here? And why do you wear a Sub Rosa uniform?
Because I work for Sub Rosa? More than that, I don't think I can say, Cadet Rao. Mostly because I'm not supposed to, but also because I can't remember.
Kristen, you know this guy?
Okada is, or was, a petty troublemaker, though a crafty one. As cadets, Virgil and I apprehended him often. Sometimes Virgil let him go, but he usually went to mental refreshment.
often enough to know the technicians by name. Until I forgot them again.
This truly is no ploy. But mental refreshment is supposed to return wayward subjects to the proper path, not cause whatever this is. Despite his faults, the Okada I knew was ultimately benign. But the fact remains that he now trespasses in a secure facility. Duty dictates that I must execute him.
Interrogate him, see if he knows anything.
That's a wise path. One that shall give me time to contemplate what must be done.
An arbiter used the word execute in the last few seconds, yet I remain alive? Didn't think that was possible.
What exactly are you supposed to do here?
I was sent here to do a specific job, but some of the details are hazy. Gives me conniptions.
Tell you're not stupid. If you want to live, you need to talk.
I was hired by an anonymous third party. They provided me with this station's location and credentials to bypass its defenses. May have tripped a few on my way here. Can't recall. I was told the station was abandoned, which it clearly isn't, and to break into this terminal and delete the information on it. That is all I know.
You know whose terminal this is?
I don't even know the name of this station.
Ignorance does not excuse criminal action. Even if you did not know the severity of this infiltration, it remains a deadly serious infraction.
What do you remember about Tristan, if anything?
He and the other one must have put me away close to 12 times each. I used to be something of a ne'er-do-well.
Ne'er-do-well is a polite term. He was a repeat malefactor. I believe last time we met, he'd vandalized a janitorial automech in an attempt to make it spew profanity.
I got 18 months of hard labor for that. Served me right.
Theory, whoever hired Okada for this job didn't know about his mind.
That's interesting, but it must be false. Sub Rosa is a large organization. Whoever asked for Okada must have wanted him specifically. But why?
I didn't used to be like this. I can still sneak with the best of them. Not being able to remember doesn't make me any worse as an agent. It doesn't.
Any of my fellow arbiters would have killed you before this conversation began. But I can't decide whether to disdain or pity you.
I think we should let him go.
I don't know that I can. He is a trespasser. His slipping mind matters not.
He established that Okada's opponent is someone else's game. What would killing him serve?
My duty dictates it. Killing Okada may not affect the one who hired him, but his trespass is an indelible fact. He should not be here.
Should we technically, or are we trespassing, aren't we?
That doesn't mean anything. An arbiter cannot trespass. And even if I could, I still act with the Protectorate's best interests in mind. Not out of some base self-interest. Were the situation different, perhaps I could look the other way. But Okada has clearly defected, and is thus not afforded such a luxury.
Or the false priest, doesn't that intent matter to you?
I am familiar with the concept, but in the Protectorate, intent matters little. Manslaughter still results in death. Sedition can happen unconsciously, just as it may consciously.
How can we care for justice if you see no difference between manslaughter and murder?
There is a difference. A murderer's family is imprisoned, whereas they are not in the case of incidental death. But I do suppose the perpetrator's punishment does not change. Though this is hardly the place for a discussion about Protectorate law, I do at least see your point.
My piece. You know what? I thought I'd kill him. Said my piece.
It is fortunate you have gained my trust, or I would not bend to one who had not. Justice must serve a purpose. Okada may live, and I hope we shan't regret it. Be gone, You've been granted your final stay of execution. Should our paths ever cross again, you know what will occur.
I didn't think this would happen. Thank you, Cadet Rao. My apologies for all the strife I caused over the years. And you. Without you, I would have been reduced to my composite parts. Here, take these. I suppose you'll have more use for them than I, in my present state.
Allowing a Sub Rosa agent to leave with his life in the heart of a Protectorate station. We may have to speak on this further. But let us see what we came here for first. The hint pertaining to the passcode on that terminal, I believe I know the answer. It is contained in a phrase the Supreme Arbiter drilled into our heads for many years.
What was it?
An Arbiter's gavel is judgment, and an Arbiter's scalpel is analysis. Try entering that.
From Arbiter Martina Andros. Messages. Deletion occurred 236 days ago. To my most esteemed sovereign, I message to inform you that my recent casualty estimates of the Arbiter in the last year of fighting, we lost several thousand of Arcadia's finest. This doubles those lost in the first 2 years of fighting together. Each subject is taken from us by the Proctorate's enemies has been revenged 100-fold. But the losses continue to mount. I know whatever pain I feel is only a fraction of the feel for the losses of your people, just as I know that you must certainly have a plan for deliverance from our many foes. I urgently await your command, and just as I have awaited it each day for the last 3 years. Entries. The Council has requested a meeting with me in the quarters of the Praetor on Praetor. Exact intent uncertain, but no doubt involves some continual justification for the last stage gem. It's as if he can sense what I am both in busiest and least interested in seeing him. Execution he broadcast those captured exemplars was barbaric. Were there not once our siblings? Could we not have at least interrogated and broke them? Perhaps impressed a few back at the Proctorate services? He is a brute and can only see violence in solution to every problem, but I know I would be the mistake to ignore the requests such as this. Perhaps one pupils can handle the duties of temporary obedience. A useful learning experience. I never expected it necessary to return to this location after the automation. The Sovereign has assured that the central control is perfectly safe. Yet, as we saw in Golden Ridge, that complete withdrawal of our forces some months ago, the old assumption are so much cosmic dust. This shall be the second office stirring about insect is immensely dishonorable. But if I am killed, I shudder to imagine what would become of the Arbiters. Preventing this room from demolition during the retrofitting process was a prudent move. If only I could have convinced Sovereign to use the same prudence to committing my Arbiters. But I had best keep thoughts such as that here. For no one else to know Trent. I can only hope that the title of war changes and soon. Drink water. My pupil's progress tolerable. Latest experiment period unsupervised. Leave in Bastion for a week. 37 arrests total. 6 executions. Listening devices caught Virgil saying the council's mustache looks like a breadworm. Disappointed his lack of tact. Will need to severely reprimanded. Sound should know better than say that when it could be easily heard. He's not the only one in need of discipline. Tristan's anger is a tight leash. His observable acumen is impressive, but the misses the details of the high-stress situation. Needs to be better master of himself. Virgil, for part, keeps steady dire situations, but he lacks iron. There should have been at least 12 executions this week. Virgil balked each time he was alone. Perhaps he can gain some sort of Tristan's medal. Perhaps Tristan might learn from Virgil's self-control. Two have become fast friends. I hope that does not hamper them when it comes time for one of them to prove himself over the other.
From that terminal, It sounds as if the Supreme Arbiter had some sort of business with the Council. To what end, I wonder? The tone of her response seemed relaxed, but I do not believe she would have met with the Council unless she had no other choice. And that feckless agent. I don't understand his aim or who he would be working for. Only the Council. But the Protectorate does not ally itself with Sub Rosa.
Could the Council have brokered some kind of deal? Seems like he'd have connections.
I couldn't imagine the Council pinning his duties on someone so clearly out of sorts as our recently departed friend. Besides, he has his own agents. Well, at least we found what we needed on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I only hope whatever awaits us at Central Control is less tumultuous. As for Okada, I'm not sure what to think. My decision to allow him to go free was at odds with all I have been taught. He was a traitor and should have died. Yet, I cannot help but feel strangely justified.
Because death isn't much of a punishment for entering an abandoned station. Strange mix of morality, lack of one. Mercy feels better than you thought, huh?
My role does not allow for mercy. I am supposed to uphold the Protectorate's laws. How can I claim thus if I allowed a traitor to go free?
Seems like there's a difference between justice and proctored justice.
To me, there cannot be. That is, there isn't. That's not possible, and I cannot afford to think of it as such. Altogether, I think visiting this station was fruitful for my ultimate task. Hopefully, we'll grow ever closer to discovering the Supreme Arbiter's true killer. And, circumstances aside, I appreciate your accompanying me here, Commander. It means much. Now let us return to the incognito and plan out our next steps.
It would appear our next stop is Praetor, specifically Central Control. I look forward to traveling there, once you've sufficiently prepared.
Deal with this place. Should I expect a
Potentially.
fight?
In the past, the locale was shared equally between us Arbiters and the Consul's Sentinels. However, considering the traitors crawling throughout the rest of Arcadia, I fear what duplicity the Consul may have wrought at Central Control.
Has anything we've discovered changed your theory about the murder?
No. The Sentinel worked on the Consul's behalf. I do note that the agent was an odd wrinkle, but that still does not fly in the face of what I believe.
That's good. I'll make necessary preparations.
Excellent. I look forward to it.
Yep, looks like we're going to Praetor now. Dude, this fucking place looks cool. Not gonna lie, with all that redness.
A short-range transmission just came in from Zeb. Sounded urgent. He's requesting we meet him at the tomb of the Matriarch, here on Praetor. It's where the Matriarch and First Sovereign are buried, supposedly.
Right, any more details on that?
Zeb left out the mission parameters. Probably worried his message might be intercepted. Not unfounded, given the Protectorate presence on Praetor. He did say he'd reach out to us again if he needed help. Reckon we should take it as a compliment. Zeb doesn't trust easy. Anyway, I'd really like to go. If there's time.
Of course, Niles, we'll make it a priority.
Much obliged. The sooner we can rendezvous at the tomb, the better. Got the sense that whatever's going down, it's happening now.
So we need Tristan and then we need him. Praetor. First time going to this planet. Let's see how it looks.
Observe that formidable structure in the distance. I hope the device we are after remains within.
Protectorate control of Praetor has largely been achieved through the maintenance of a blockade. A survey of Praetor indicates there may be an alternate route past the blockade via the Automech factory.
Oh good, I can clear my freaking toxicity. I noticed there's like one of these at every landing pad we go to, I've noticed. More announcements. To all subjects to the Proctorate subject, welcome to Praetor. To all newly assigned subjects, the Council welcomes you to the world of Praetor, where the magnificence of the universe exists in harmony with the Proctorate science and industry. When you ponder in perfection of the plan, remember Proctor and the wonders you will experience here. Consider permanent darkness if the world held in perfect equilibrium, with the lightning shells striking above your heads. Praetor of the world it balances the Proctorate, only enhances it by presence, and of course, above all else, Proctor is final resting place for our beloved matriarch, Adenium. Also, please keep a designated pass, as the native gravid and virtual life forms are exceptionally dangerous. To wander into their territories, potentially cut your service the Proctorate short. Praise the matriarch. As if to demonstrate their ignorance of the plan, the Bits-obsessed anti-choice forces have chosen to spearhead the invasions of foreign species known as Rapidons. It is not yet known the effect of this invasion of xenofauna will have on the long-term balance of Praetor. The subjects tasked with ecological management are advised to Rapidons are not part of the plan and thus have no say as to whether a Proctorate subject should be reclassified as food. Combat units are advised to give Rapidons the same priority to erase as any other anti-choice invasion asset. Who is the companion that requires? I want to swap out companions real quick. I was just thinking about it. We'll bring Aza and him along with us so we can get that quest going. My question is, can we just walk up to the door and just run right out?
This is quite an impressive blockade, befitting the Protectorate. Though it's stymieing our advances, less ideal. That sound! Mortar fire! We must take cover immediately!
I take it we're probably going to have to walk the long ass way around to get there. Of course, we got to walk across the map to get there, though. But yeah.
Tristan, or should I say, the famous Arbiter Rao.
If you seek to taunt me, know that my hammer has crushed the skulls of dozens like yourself.
See, that's just it. You act all high and mighty, but you're as scary to people as I am.
Wrongdoers fear me, most certainly. But loyal subjects admire me. I might go so far as to say I am adored, far and wide.
No, they're terrified of you. I should know. I grew up having nightmares of being judged unworthy.
You mean for doing something like, oh, joining an insane religious cult?
You're dumber than you look. And that's saying something.
Here you stand, dear subject, on the first steps of your journey. You are far from your destination, but the path clear, and your resolve is unwavering. If the matriarch could open a havens to humanity with the glorious gift of her skip drive, then surely you can walk her symbolic path without fear. Take the briefest of moments and reflect on the discovery of the skip drive. Internalize the surety it took for the matriarch to make her creation and use it to cast herself and the first crew into the void, knowing without doubt that the only acceptable outcome of the journey could be the creation of the most perfect of societies, the Proctorate. Look at Space Corn. Yeah, we're pretty fucking powerful now, I'll say. This play is so beautiful in its own way. I feel like this game leans more towards like the No Man's Sky kind of aesthetic feel at times, you know? In terms of like planets. Feels like it leans more towards that, which is perfectly fine with me, but just neat. Sable's biomass shotgun.
None shall stand against us.
Dennis Presno. +1 damage. Nice. Oh, +1% damage. What is this thing anyways? I'm gonna assume it might be quest related, this whole thing. Whatever it is. Air-cooled machine gun. Had one of those before. I just saw this over and I was kind of a little bit curious to see what it was about. we go up there? Kind of curious. It's got a long way to get there, though. I'm hoping at this T that we can actually go, we can cross over to here, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like there's potentially a mountain there. Dear subjects, you are now adrift the darkness, your path unseeable, your fear understandable, but your feelings are at the affront to the glory. What is the matriarch's achievement? This shrine of the void, it represents the smallest reflection of the almost incalculable distance between the matriarch's departure from Earth and her arrival at the Arcadian system. The void was vast and unknowable, with dangers beyond the feeble imaginings. But how can you falter here? Facing such inadequate copy of our beloved matriarch, look at her crew and the future of humanity through the darkness without hesitation. Do not falter. Instead, steel your heart with the thoughts of what she overcame. Trust in her immutable willpower, and that will surely find your way through the final shrine. Take a brief moment and reflect on the incalculable effort the matriarch put into bringing the forefathers here to bring them a better life, free of tyranny.
I suspect the local fauna has correctly identified us as a threat. Stand ready, Commander.
Dear Subject 2, arrived at the Shrine of Arcadia. Your path is nearly complete. Cast your eyes forward into the harmless light. Think on the matriarch and her first crew felt the moment that light, the rays of Arcadia's sun, and they overwhelmed their senses. Even as you shield your eyes from the light of her future, think of the first colonists doing the same. All but the matriarch. Her gaze was resolved and the future already solid in her thoughts. Unshakable vision built upon hard resolve. You've come far, but like those first subjects, your work is far from done. Those subjects found in the entire system gave form to the matriarch's vision, but none of them have ever forgot the gift she had given them, the gift of creating her future. The last few steps to the tomb of our beloved matriarch are minuscule expenditure of effort by comparison, but make them with the same conviction as the first crews possessed. Susan de Venero. +1 toxicity crash threshold. Nice. A number of disconnected wires, scrapes, bent corners lead you to believe that this part was removed from here with great force and little working knowledge of the panel. Above the area is the missing part used to occupy the note written in a barely legible hand. Read note. Given the terrible handwriting, the worst spelling, you suspect this note was written by Scrapper. It warned the reader not to steal any more parts from the Proctorate. Will be very, very, very much matter. The note also alludes to Scrapper camp to the east. So the Scrapper camp to the east. So that would be this way then. Oh, we might as well go to the Scrapper camp, right? And since we're here, right?
I shall not stay your execution.
Oh, well, that was a good hiding spot for a landmine, to be honest. I legit would have completely missed that landmine, would have blown myself up to smithereens. Shits. Damn. I'm just one shot in these guys. Just poof, dead, poof, dead. Nothing, not giving them enough time to even, like, have a chance to kill me either.
have my thanks and my hammer. I would need a target for that. Regain target. Electrical damage failing.
Tossball card, +1 critical chance. Nice. Burnished hat mask. How much of this ammo we have?
The Adrena time. Was that?
Done all junk. How much heavy rounds can I make? Also, what can I scrap too? Look at all the black powder we're piling up because we saved all these weapons for the most part. we never choose his upgrades? Now deals shock damage and has significantly increased damage. Shock side effects. So my biggest issue though is I wish I had a frickin' flashlight of some sort to use. I'm not sure what I want to try to go into next. We've only got 5 more levels after this. And after that, we're kind of screwed. I bet you that key card was probably inside that that locked box, you know, that we can't get into. Oh wait, we found it right here. Carefully slot the missing part in place within the panel. It locks with a satisfying click, reassuring you that you've inserted it properly. Albrecht Lightning Tower. So now I want to cut through here because I think that would be our best bet. Yeah. Well, we have to cut through this way pretty much. I think we have no choice but to. Yo, and I could still go do that, but I still think there's like mountains back that way anyways. This definitely is a high level area though. I could tell.
Attention, Commander. There may be valuable parts at this location that can improve this unit's functionality. Performing a thorough search of the Automech factory is advised, should you wish to maximize your Valerie unit's combat effectiveness. Building factory schematic. It is likely the desired parts are being stored somewhere on the ground floor.
Terminal controls the facility's loading dock changing stations with the proper keycard or little automechanical know-how. One can dispatch a nearby automechs to their charge stations. Oh, we don't have any of those, so yeah, that's out of the question. With a assembled auto dock, you might be able to use the chemical instrument to formulate a trauma kit. Oh, too bad I don't have that skill up. Messages. To Divisor Sachs, read, need a spare key. I reserved you a request an additional laboratory key. I must say, I am categorically against the request. We have already detected multiple vulnerabilities due to your team's apparent inability to secure every other copy of the key. An additional key simply exacerbates the problem. The Proctors thrive eternally. I, of course, respect your concerns over security of our facility and would normally defer to expertise in the authority. However, the members of the staff are repeatedly leaving keys unattended, have again been disciplined, and shall not make the same mistakes again. Also, though I do not wish to find a point on the cord quill, so long as we remain within the facility, I officially outrank you, so you'll kindly acquaintance my request. How terribly disappointed I am to find that you're pulling rank over decision that I, as a Justin in charge of security in this facility, should be left to make. We'll also remind you that divisor and repeated violations by simply definition demonstrates that discipline repeatedly fails. Perhaps the mental refreshment should be considered. The Proctorate thrives eternally. Or the demanded extra key so that we may provide one of an off-site security group. Sovereign feels that it's kept abreast of developments. No longer a request. You will provide me the said key. Since your project began, Zeranium Armor development team have lost their keys to total 27 times. Unacceptable, barring the spanner of social experiment or traitorous desire of outsiders to breach this facility. They can fend for themselves. I believe the Gibberbrains is pulling rank. For reasons only Sovereign knows, rather than leave security for the facility under purview of the military, the head scientist is in command. And while the man may be brilliant as at isotope Zeranium diffusion, he's an utter dullard in running his facility. My team has made a game of who can find each strewn about security key. So far, Lee in the load, though Angham moves fast in the heels. There's also an entirely unauthorized betting pool for what will be strangest location it turns up. Based a lot on being accidentally thrown in the waste bin, but given the already discovered one trapped inside the hatch and the suit itself, here I'm not the one even in the running. It's only day 2. Before last, I was forced to deliver Divisor's Tax's copies of Zeranium Armor laboratory key. Supposedly it was provided to some mysterious off-site security element, or that Sovereign has in mind. Zeranium Armor. Warning, removing prototype without authorization will result in security lockdown. This is an armor that science can make. Note, this is with Tyrophilia may want to use something else.
Caution subjects. A security breach has been...
Damn, that thing looks fucking sick.
Breach has been detected. A full laboratory lockdown is now in effect.
This thing looks like a fucking suit of power armor.
Full laboratory lockdown. Stay calm, remain vigilant, and obey security personnel. And always trust that the sound is...
Oh, come now, Commander. Had humans been designed to fly, the architect would have granted us terror ray.
Oh, you can fucking fly with this shit. Okay. This is fucking awesome. I'm kind of glad we went here. I didn't realize that was actually shocking us.
Attention subjects. The laboratory lockdown has been lifted, and your faith in the Sovereign has been reaffirmed. You may resume normal activities.
This might as well be power armor. Holding jump allows you to hover by spending gadget energy. Will also keep you alive even at death's door, but builds uranium poisoning while at 0 health, which can eventually kill you. Warning, hover does not function while falling from heights. Good to know. That's a hover ability. Okay, that's a better way of putting it. I don't want to go that way yet. I still want to explore the rest of the facility. +1 critical chance. Antimatter plasma sniper. Cross converter for a plasma SMG. Technophobia. Automechanicals chill you with the core. They deal more damage to you, but you deal more damage to them. I mean, it's not so bad, but I have a feeling it will backfire on us, but fuck it.
Beneficent leader! Hastening to cover.
Special for Val here. Not that she isn't special already.
Advanced mod kit. Covers that mod. Alright, let's go up here now, see what's going on up here. Scrambler coil, okay. Life support laboratory login passcode protection disabled. So very much work. Can it really all be for naught? No matter how many times it is repeated, no matter how I try to process the news, it is an iron spike driven directly through my temple. And while yes, I am filled with hope, renewed ascension over a new sovereign, Henry, it will be ages before I finish mooring sovereign govern. If we had finished the redacted sooner, we were so very close. Not that I had doubts of our young sovereign Henry, but he has both shown incredible intellect and given our passion project a few new purpose. He envisions the technology we develop for a father redacted automechanical redactor as a new form of redacted for our soldiers. I wait for the bated breath to hear more of the plans and gain direction towards this new noble goal. Sovereign's vision for new Zeranium-powered armor is advancing exceptionally well. Its initially developed required us to revisit and finish development on the former Sovereign's redacted as proof of concept, but for that said work, it's been successfully completed. That seems little use from protheal convergence anymore. After vigorous debate and intention to seal the subterranean lab and houses it and turn the surface level antechamber leading to the closet, it is arguably the enormous end in such a noble endeavor, but we can't bring ourselves to disassemble the device. There's simply too much history, passion lost wrapped in that stainless steel redacted. What more is maybe another poor soul whose body has been ravaged by time, disease, life-threatening accident may make use of this amazing capabilities. Certainly that is a better potential fate than being recycled for parts. I'm curious though how much stuff we're missing by having such a low hacking, you know? We gotta be missing out on some stuff, you know? Like some lore, I guess, you know, that we're potentially missing, you know, because there's probably quite a bit of it that we can't effectively see at the moment because of our lack of skills, you know. Now time to get to where we're actually trying to get to, which is over that way. Although we do need to try to get over there at some point, but I'm not focused on that currently. But I do need to take a break real quick. I gotta run to the bathroom and Maybe grab another water, we'll see. But we'll be right back. Give me a few. Hold on, let me ban this guy real quick. But yeah, give me a few. I will be right back, and we will continue playing some more when I get back. We're gonna get back into this and keep going. We got a good amount done just now. We got some pretty badass armor in return, so definitely a good run so far on this planet. It's a nice and interesting planet for sure.
Huh? Unfriendly company. Value agents were terrible. Pack yourself up. Avoid disruptive influences.
No suspects in sight.
God damn something. Oh, we're gonna continue off this way.
I shall reduce them to a slurry.
Try and keep your guts on the inside, Commander.
Response team's most recent excursion saw us traveling south towards a known nest of reptons. We managed to successfully exterminate several of the brutes. We had to make our tactical withdrawal from encountering an exceptionally large and intelligent specimen. It mauled 3 wardens and shrugged off a small arms fire. None of the response team's personnel had previously encountered Rapton of such strength and Through safety. We'll have to devise a more specialized plan of attack to deal with the particular Rapidon. In the meantime, I petition a Commander Persale to grant a bounty for this monstrosity. Void, take Anta's choice for having unleashed those horrors upon us. I'm not gonna waste my time doing that bullshit. It's pissing me off.
You have my thanks and my hammer. Unleash my might upon me.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Unit evacuated.
Try and keep your back on the inside.
Prepare for absolution.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Fire most sloppy.
I really need to find a first aid machine, because I've healed way too much. And auto dock is what I meant to say, but yeah, you know what I mean. Messages. Attention all personnel, please be aware of any arbiters and personnel associated with arbiters who are now subject to additional screening. Arbiters and personnel associated with arbiters must submit their identification forms in triplicate and shall have non-standard issue belongings confiscated. All is for the safety of Arcadia. No personal updates, sentinels, or associate personnel. Glory to the council. Visual personnel. As of the moment, arbiters and those associated are now present. All standard issued weaponry and armor in this checkpoint. For inspection, equipment may be collected at Central Control. May their unnamed, unarmored passage to Central Control renew their devotion to the Council. No protocol updates to Sentinel or associated personnel. Glory to the Council. Alright, I gotta use this real quick. Yeah, the negative with this armor is the buildup of that Zeranium poisoning. That's a negative of it. Which I mean is a small negative in comparison, but if you're not heavily invested in the medicine like I am, it's a pain in the ass, you know? Also, I need to look, because, you know, I haven't really bothered to quite look at the healing options that I have, because at the moment, what do I have? Almost there. It's a little bit more to go.
Doesn't anything make you question the Protectorate's infallibility at all? I mean, their partners in crime in the Order broke away and a corporation invaded their precious utopia.
Quite the contrary. The Outsiders desire what we have. The Order is too cowardly to admit they want what the Protectorate has. The Order's jealousy weakened us from within, allowing the opening for Auntie's choice to invade. We were not imperfect. It is everyone else who was.
You just keep telling yourself that.
I don't know why it put us to the right. It's a little weird that it did that. Given I don't really play in third person that often anyways, but it's just weird.
Mind that there grenade!
I'm so dead. Yeah, I don't know if I quite like this armor. It just kills you. Effectively, it's good armor, but it kills you. We're gonna go revert armor choices because I don't like that armor quite that much.
Looking individual, if you ask me.
What in the hell is that thing made out of?
Commander, is there a reason we do not deign to enter? Smells like paint and agitated dust. Renovations, I surmise.
Enemy spotted.
Malefactor ahead. Ready to dispense judgment.
Probably hold.
I'm alive. Who needs to die? Wrist weapon primed.
You have my thanks and my hammer.
Come upon me unawares, you will answer for it harshly.
Location of the map bears the bright X mark. A small note is pinned outside. Suspected site of initial signing of the Articles of Confederation early into Arcadia's founding. Name successfully stricken from records. No copies of surviving initial articles, but the extremely sporadic rumors persist that they were shockingly lenient in regards to punishing citizen infractions and allowed subjects frightful amounts of anonymity. Our society has proven that all systems require strict rules to thrive. Rumors of their guidelines must not be allowed to persist. Continue to identify the source of information and excise more thoroughly.
Disagreeable business. We'll find them. Sure as eggs.
What kind of tomfoolery is this? Reporting search.
Just want to make sure I wasn't missing anything.
The Tomb of the Matriarch, an exhibition to the wonders of the Protectorate's founder. I trust you are suitably armed?
I now present to you my new invention, the Skip Drive, a revolutionary technology that will allow humanity to sojourn to the stars.
Only a singular mind could have conceived of such advanced technology.
It is my deepest wish to entrust the Skip Drive to those brave visionaries willing to follow me into a most prosperous future.
Yes, so wise matriarch, lead us into this future you have envisioned.
What the fuck? Eric's logs. Skip Drive performance exceptional. In all preliminary tests, Skip Drive outperformed all the metrics, and we have every reason to believe it would continue to execute beyond expectations. We finally set course to Arcadia. No longer will humanity gaze longingly up at the stars. We will master space, and we have mastered every unexplored wilderness that has come before. Stars are a destination. It is my firm belief that the seeds of utopia first began on Earth, will flower most prolifically at the soil of our new colony. Future generations will speak glowingly of all this has been accomplished under the light of faithful star. Arcadia, our colony, our home. Matriarch lived much as we do, assuming simple fare prepared by personal chefs and served priceless tableware of antique earth ceramics. Her favorite houseplant, nourished by her own wise exfoliation, yet thrives today under the admirable coating of lacquer. A glance at this would look like BioShock. Yeah, I know. It has a very BioShocky like feel sometimes. The matriarch never rested from the intellectual, philanthropic, recreational, and martial pursuits. Also, how are you doing tonight, Agro? How are you doing? Her bottomless benevolence, she founded development of the finest offensive and defensive automechanicals, maintained a well-oiled collection of firearms, and even found time to amass a collection of rare pitchball cards in absolute perfect good to very good condition. And it has that whole BioShocky feel. Eden was personally selected by Matriarch as an ideal location to begin her perfect colony, requiring minimal terraforming and support human life. Matriarch appointed her many humble seasonal properties with simple furnishings chosen by a team of decor experts for comfort, aesthetic, symmetry, and stain resistance. Her original desk, however, was humbly assured, a simple workplace to ponder magnificent ideas. Among the matriarch's many gifts were powers of observation and capacity for vision. Behold, the very telescope through which first expelled life-giving star we call Arcadia. In spite of the telescope's rudimentary design, such as the matriarch's mathematical prowess, that even from her distant vantage on Earth, she was able to see precise equations and determine the colony as a prospective new home capable of supporting life. Ooh. I don't have the skill to open that. While the Sovereign's flagship was crafted in 1/100 scale and captures only 1/100th of its magnificence. I do want to see what's back here real quick. See what's back here. Okay, it's just a bathroom, but still, there's stuff to be found. Playing the first Outer Worlds, I don't remember why exactly though. I mean, it may have been the gameplay. Maybe it wasn't as good as it could have been, you know. I know, like, it's one of these games where it's like you either kind of like the first game or you don't. And the good thing about this game is you don't necessarily have to play the first one to understand it, you know, which is kind of nice.
Actually, the matriarch passed at the impressive and venerable age of 90, establishing Arcadia's precedent for longevity.
90? So young! Imagine what glorious inventions she could have conceived of with only a handful more years.
Huh. Oh! Wait, did I kill both of them at once, or did one of my companions kill the other? Golden Shroud display keys. Oh, nice. Casket supposedly holds the remains of the matriarch, but you won't know for sure unless you open it. Hopefully there aren't any extra security measures. I mean, I am mildly curious.
Commander. Oh, I see. You must have noticed a spot of dust on that artifact and taken it for cleaning. Good initiative.
Okay, hold on. I want to see. I know this is gonna probably piss him off. Is as soon as we do this, open the casket and hope for the best. Slide the top of the casket aside. Notice a tripwire tied around the casket, contents of which you carefully remove.
Safeguarding the matriarch's remains from the console, are we? This is rather unusual, but it is the only sane explanation for what you currently do.
Yeah, we'll just leave that there. I don't want to carry the remains of a dead person on me, you know? Yo, what's up, Dirt God? How's it going? Yeah, we're not gonna carry the remains of oh shit. Let me reload real quick. We're done streaming most all day. Nice. It's over here looting this place like crazy. We've already been in that room, so yeah, we're heading over this way. Calicetius was used to first presiding bishop in order of the ascendant and command of the archive. The original was later replaced with a design symmetrical and pleasing to the patriotism. Yeah, we just I just fired up Outer Worlds about what 2 hours ago again. We're gonna be going for like another hour and a half, and then I'm gonna call it a little early tonight. I gotta do something in the morning, so that's why I started so early. Contents of these displays have been removed for restoration. Rest assured, they are appropriately inspiring and demonstrative of the monarch's unquestionably wisdom and foresight. Gasp in the appropriate reverence of this pair of gold-spangled banners. On the left, the matriarch's original standard transported her retinue, perfectly travel-worn and immaculately married to the soil of both Earth and Eden. On the right, the pennant of her son, the first sovereign, now easily recognized as the Proctorate's official banner and thus perfect for every way, despite several stubborn mildew stains. Did you really clip the double kill? You know, I gotta see. Was that a double kill? I don't know if that was a double kill, you know? That's hard to tell. That is so hard to tell. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because of the kill cam, I couldn't tell. So I don't know. I mean, maybe? Neither one of my companions have a gun, though. That I have with me, so it couldn't have been them. It couldn't have been. You could have, yeah. Because my companions are both melee characters, and they were behind me. Past jealous actors have attempted to sabotage our paradise. Naturally, they failed. For display confiscated ordnance of their attempted despoilment, still armed to the might and sense of potential malice. Smoke near the exhibit is prohibited. Long before the traitorous order and amendment co-opt these pictographs as their banners, the matriarch commissioned them as a symbol of their dedication to deep mathematical thought, unwavering dedication to scientism, and as a housewarming gift, a sincere friend of hers. The sky was never the limit for she who sheared us to the stars. Did we look at these yet? Just as the matriarch improved their quality of life, troops of appropriately armed automechanicals ensure none shall disturb their eternal rest. A life aligned with patriotism requires a fine unburdening by wholesome thoughts, in which precisely why the matriarch and her wisdom mandated that automechanicals should handle varied tasks from homeland defense and comrade scrubbing. So I'm assuming this is probably another bathroom that we can't go into because we don't have the lockpick. Never mind that idea. Hold on, I want to go back in here actually real quick. We need so much lockpicking to steal all this stuff out of here if we really wanted. Alright, well. Ooh, what kind of armor is that? And moving from the homespun textiles and energy absorbent materials, the Golden Shroud project is an aura of opulent indestructibility. It was tailored to fit the first sovereign's perfect frame and remains redolent of his assuring musk. Okay, the prophets are shielded from the world's misery and their wealth. Those people are right. Oh my god, that looks so freaking cool and ridiculous. Yeah, additional 30% damage to this, increasing further with your speech skill. However, when you receive damage, you lose half your damage total in bits. It has no effect while you are out of bits. 100% chance of ignoring incoming attacks while below 50% health. I mean, it's really weak compared to what we have now. In terms of like armor, you know? Pretty much right now, it's like we have power armor almost. It looks like Nutcracker's outfit. Is this the same one as the one in the other room?
For my next gift, I bestow upon you the pinnacle of automechanical design, far superior to all automechanicals that came before. The time once spent in numbing manual labor may now be spent in harmonious community with your neighbor, and in humble service to the Protectorate. May art and science flourish in these many hours, which I have returned to you.
Warning. Power at 13%. Power cell has been partially depleted due to inaction.
Let this accord between the Protectorate and the Order of the Ascendant mark the moment of Arcadia's true birth.
Beloved Matriarch, you are nearer to perfection as anyone living could ever achieve. It will be the honor of the Order to serve as the Protectorate's scientific helpmates.
All that I do for my subjects and their descendants. Gloria Arcadia!
Gloria Arcadia!
Wait, this is not where I wanted to go.
Your arrival could not be more timely. After the events of Paradise Island, I could think of no one more suited to conduct a surgical strike of this nature. I don't see Niles with you. Did he not listen to the whole of my message? I asked for him specifically.
Oops, knew I was forgetting something.
I hope your memory does not prove as porous in the future. Come back with Niles, and quickly. I can only delay my plan for so long.
To be fair, I did not mean to go here. It's just the way it happened to be set up. I guess the way I took it brought me all the way over here. Okay, yeah, we came in through here, through a secret door. Yeah, we also got a level up, which is also good. I want to get lockpick up a little bit. Because yeah, one lockpick's kind of nice to have because there's a few things I came across that requires a level 4 lockpick. Let's do a little bit of hacking. No. Hacking and medical. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm going with. Those are unobtainable at the moment. Okay, hold on. Combat starts and whenever your companions is down immediately. Okay, we've already looked at Shrug It Off. Scrapper. Makeshift armor. Whenever you craft items, your armor gains a temporary bonus to the armor. I don't really want that. For moderate duration after swapping weapons. Deep drums. Machine guns, special guns, assault rifles slowly reload automatically. Additionally, all weapons have an increased magazine size. You can now fire the sliding, mantling, and sprinting with the assault rifles SMGs. Additionally, the spread of these weapons types is reduced. Marksman rifles, pistol, sniper rifles increase range and weak spot damage. Shotguns, SMGs ignore a portion of armor, making them more effective against armored enemies. When you're revealed before lockpicking, also you gain increased range bonus with guns. Temporarily tame hostile creatures, having them fight at your side for moderate duration. You can tame unwanted hostile creatures by sneaking up on them and having enough medical skill. I think I'm good. Survivalist. Creatures always drop new raw meat, which can be eaten as food. Zeranium absorption. Accumulated Zeranium poison much slower and can no longer receive light and heavy Zeranium poisoning penalties after accumulating too much. Additionally, if you enter a drug crash from using medical inhaler, when you crash ends, a portion of your Zeranium poisoning is removed. Warning, maxing out your Zeranium poisoning will still kill you. I feel like that would come in handy for us right now, just because of like our situation, I guess you could say. We'll put that up there. I just want to keep looking though real quick. There's an occasional reward you for bonus bits and crafting materials. Yo, what's up, Death Dread? How's it going? Prives now cost stolen items sell more. Yeah, I'm wondering what else healthing there is I could potentially be getting. The science would actually heavily benefit us, but I have not invested a single bit of skill in that, and I don't think it's worth it at this point in the game, you know? Like, it's not worth it, you know? I definitely want to get this one since we have an issue with that substantially. If we can accumulate that a bit slower, it would save our ass a little bit. How are you doing tonight, Death Dread? So we got effectively 2 different quests tied to this place that we gotta do. Just glad the game's able to remember, like... I mean, unless maybe I have some type of an effect where it's like, if I stealth kill somebody, it kills somebody in the nearby area as well? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. That was just a way to sneak by, okay. I could have done the stealthy. Clearly I did not do that, though. I clearly took the noisy route. Oh shit.
Another intolerable recharged for mayhem.
I don't know exactly what we're here for, but something obviously for two of my companions. This copy of the Portrait on Test is one of the first drafted by the matriarch herself. You may have noticed unusually simple questions and greatly truncated length. It was believed initially that it was all required to successfully decide the vocations of the Proctorate subjects. In many peaceful years following the matriarch's passing, the Proctorate iterated, lighting upon the initial designs. However, after the rise in power, Consultor correctly identified many ways in which the Proctorate Acumen test could further identify the subject's strengths and weaknesses. The test nearly quadrupled in length, allowing us all to rest easy, knowing Arcadia's future subjects will be properly placed in their social roles. I just want to see what that would do if anything. Okay, so we're gonna buy some more heavy rounds. Every time I see a vending machine, I'm gonna be buying these rounds because this is by far my favorite gun of the game. Look at how powerful it is. I'm sure eventually we'll find something better, but as of right now, this one just kicks too much ass to not use. It just sucks that it uses one of the most, I guess you could say, expensive rounds.
They've all been removed. I hardly recognize this place.
Something's happening to Tristan. He's acting like a human being.
I'm fine. Some arid dust nearly found its way into my eye.
This guy. The dust found its way into my eye. Shall lift records. Champion, 6 years running, longest mine thrower, Tristan Rao. 60-second shooting range challenge scores. Virgil beat Tristan on that. Damn.
Old office. I hope the technicians have kept it in working order.
Can't be too dessert.
Yeah, I think one of the perks I have.
Is not devoted to the idea of training future arbiters. I wish I could say I were surprised.
I think I have a perk that actually causes damage to nearby enemies, I believe. I think that's what it was, if I remember correctly. Senior Sentinel A. I recently finished my review of the security mechanisms present on the flagship of the Sovereign, and I must say, our security coordinators have outdone themselves. Defense ring every corridor, hourly redundant hallway patrols, and at crux of it all, no one can access the deck of the ship without providing deck-specific credentials. The means of that, for example, an officer on desk 2 would be unable to access the deck or without aid. No Cillian or group of Cillians could run the buff shed of the ship, no matter how coordinated. I hasten to call the ship 9 impregnable. Perhaps we might even implement some of these security measures in central control as well.
What we need is on that terminal. I'll see if I can find my way in.
Picture of Supreme Arbiter and her 2 proteges, Tristan and Virgil, taking yours. Remove the frame. Found remarkable as you replace the picture in his frame. However, you do notice a line of text undoubtedly scrawled in the back of the photograph. To the Supreme Arbiter, Grander Mentor has never walked the back ways of Arcadia. Gingerly, you place the picture back as you found it. The number of volumes still stand on the dust-blanketed bookcase, and deciphering the plan of primer order of sudden teachings. You pull this book from the shelf, kicking up a small cloud of dust. Opening the book, thumbing through the pages reveal dense walls of scientific text and sea of red underlines, crossouts, and annotations. Because the Supreme Arbiter was having the one-side argument with the book's author. Though it doesn't seem over large at first glance, the book is so heavy it almost fights you as you pull it from the shelf. Where you were to drop this on your foot, you have no doubt that several of your bones would shatter on the spot. The pages within are so dense that the writing has to be almost completely black in places. The edges of the book are worn, and many pages bear highlights, bookmarks, circles, and other bookmarks. It's clear this book was extremely well loved. This seemed to be a wine enthusiast's guide for homebrewing, with the target audience being officials for a very limited amount of time. Judging by how much thicker the dust is on every other book, it does not appear to have ever been opened.
The terminal's locked, which is no surprise. See if you can find some method to bypass its passcode.
Reliably standard filing cabinet featuring what must be hundreds of dense, boring documents. As you shuffle idly through the paper, skimming for something noteworthy, you hear something shift deeper in the cabinet, but it's difficult to surmise where. A few moments of searching, you eventually find the bottom of the shelf bears a false bottom. You lift it up and reveal a small compartment containing a single, slightly dusted bottle of alcohol. Take the bottle. Order ascendant globally, likely stolen from the Order settlement. You notice the pressing switch half hidden in the base. Oh. Press the switch. Feeling rubbles the floor nearby, it would appear this has unlocked something.
Did you hear that? I think something may have unlocked.
Wires and mechanical doodads coming beneath this device's surface. Best leave it to Tristan.
I think this may unlock the terminal, but the toggle mechanism appears compromised. I shall hold it. You attempt to gain access to the machine. must finish reading through that terminal. The elevator's been summoned from below. Someone's coming up. Hurry!
Consul Thoreau, I'm sure you're surprised to be receiving this message, and thus I can assume you already know my intent. Even considering aligning myself against the Sovereign is like sticking my hand in boiling oil. Yet my dead charges spur me forward. 10 scores of Arcadia's finest, at least 10 scores, died in defense of Golden Ridge. And does the region lie in our control? No. We fled like sprats, all at Varric's behest. I shall lower myself to work with you, Consul. I will help you uphold your plan to... Hold... What in blazes? How long have you been standing there? What did you hear?
Messages. Extreme Arbiter, my regret to inform you that over the course of last week, we've lost another 2 cadres worth of arbiters in the fighting in the Cloister. Their unit was ambushed by a large number of Order troops en route to resupplying those holding the archive, and though they eliminated 10 for each of their own, failed. They were eventually overwhelmed by Order firepower. We shall doubtlessly still prevail at Cloister. I shall see to that until my dying breath. Though we have lost many than expected, the Sovereign shall deliver us from the icy wasteland and crush our enemies forth. Glory to Proctorate. Another Arbiter today. After the conclusion of her wake, I didn't glean her name. I cannot say whether she volunteered it. She was one of the extensive line of well-wishers, condolences of those seeking comfort and give and to take. As the 2 of us conferred, she spoke of a handful of junior arbiters and been monitoring, and asked if we had any advice. I told her, see which of the recruits is best knack for maintaining their weapons excellence and most basic tasks regarding excellence in all else. Thanked me for insight, but I realized short thereafter that I was not my sight, it was yours. All I know is I learned you and Virgil presented stable base from which I could be best I could be. With you gone and Virgil distant, it is for the first time in my life difficult to see what the future might bring. May the Architect grant us both peace.
I cannot believe what I heard. I cannot.
I'm sorry, that must have been hard to see.
Actually, it wasn't. Perhaps at first, until I discerned her true intentions. My mentor hated the Consul and was deeply devoted to the Sovereign. She'd never speak thus, unless she was trying to lure the Consul into a trap.
That seems like a lot of work to go through just to flatten someone's head with one of those giant hammers.
What I'm proposing is eminently plausible. It may be beyond you to see her machinations, but it's obvious to me that this was merely an intricate play. It's all that makes sense.
Thought she was killed before she could send it. There's no elaborate play here.
It's not obvious to me. You didn't know her. Wait, do you hear that?
Arbiter Rao, I finally got you. Submit quietly to the Protectorate's justice for your manifold transgressions.
Are you insane? Who are you? And on whose authority do you claim to judge me?
My name is Junior Arbiter Mayhall, and I operate on Arbiter Mandate, as you did once. Now, no questions. This is already going to be difficult enough.
I didn't realize the Council had arbiters in his pocket, too.
It's logical. The Sentinels have all but taken over central control. It stands to reason the few arbiters still trained here would only be Sentinels in armored regalia.
I cannot deny that central control has changed, but... what am I saying? I need not defend myself from the likes of you.
Enough! This has been an unpleasant day and my patience is gone. Your accusations are baseless, and accosting a higher-ranked arbiter is grounds for arbitration.
They're far from baseless. You stand accused of abandoning your post, of infiltrating Protectorate facilities with opaque aims, and of hampering the Protectorate war effort.
Those are a lot of accusations to throw around. Let's all calm down and discuss this.
There's no discussion to be had with criminals. I needed to see firsthand that Arbiter Rao had abandoned his station. He has, and must meet my judgment.
These accusations of yours are slander. If you believe false bravado shall save you from my wrath, you're sorely mistaken.
Can't you see she's just following her duty like you are?
At Oculus, and again at the Vox, you showed me that the law may be interpreted. Clemency can be granted where before it would be unthinkable. Here my sense of duty clamors to be answered. But as much as it surprises me to admit it, I think you're correct. To this recruit, I've diverged from the path of righteousness. Slaying her for sincerely trying to do what is right would be a farce of justice.
In a way to change her mind, you wouldn't kill her?
I would not. But I know the reality of swaying an arbiter from their chosen path. It's likely this situation may devolve into violence regardless.
What is this insanity? I would never imagine an Arbiter balking from their chosen course. I had hoped Arbiter Rao would come to his senses, but obviously to no avail. I may not wish to judge him. I may not understand what has come over him. It is of no consequence. His crimes against the Protectorate are all that matters.
Christian Spiritus. Christian spared a sentinel bent on arresting him. Does that seem like a traitor to you?
He was simply doing his duty, just as you or I must every day. Killing him would have been wrong, even though attempting to arrest me was a criminal act.
That's even worse than I thought. You chose not to do your duty, and expect telling me so would soften my decision to judge you?
The Supreme Arbiter taught me to follow my own sense of justice, and I have. Use your mind. Think about what I did, what you intend to do. Is this moral? Is this right?
Yours aren't under any jurisdiction but their own. No one put you up to this.
What of it? Someone has to stop him.
Ironic. You came here to judge me for much the same reason I have, as you so claim, deserted. I chose to investigate the Supreme Arbiter's death on my own. You chose to investigate my departure on your own. You seek to judge me for the very crime you are guilty of.
That's impossible. I refuse to believe we both could be guilty if we were simply following what we were taught.
You're both guilty. Self-contrary, it stands to reason you should question them.
That doesn't make any sense. We can't simply question what we're told. That's treason. But I do not deny that following such orders might be equally treasonous. The utter insanity of this makes my brain pan rattle. Fine. Consider my hand stayed. I can see that judging Tristan would only rob the Protectorate of another of its servants. It seems I must reflect on this matter.
Well, we got that resolved.
It would appear we're in agreement. Neither of us shall raise a hand against the other. I'm pleased.
Never known an arbiter to lose their taste for blood. That's disappointing.
So, what course of action do we take now?
Tristan, any words of wisdom you can import?
It's important for an arbiter to use their forebrain. Next time you encounter something as strange as a loyal arbiter diverging from the path of righteousness, investigate. You may find more questions than answers. But deciphering them and interpreting justice as best we can is how we might serve Arcadia.
Uphold justice in my way. I'll attempt to remember that, Arbiter Rao. Thank you.
Glory to the Protectorate, Junior Arbiter. Make me proud.
Damn.
I'm pleased we were able to resolve that altercation peaceably. Robbing Arcadia of an enthusiastic recruit would have given me little joy.
You say that, but I've seen the way you smile when you kill. Oh, sorry, dispense justice. I'd say she got lucky. Or you're turning soft.
You know, I'd even venture to say she reminded me just a little of myself as a lad.
So where do we go from here?
All this excitement did not make me forget the confession on the Supreme Arbiter's terminal. I have to bring it to Virgil. Together, we can discover exactly what transpired.
You're lying to yourself. Those excuses of yours are unbecoming of the arbiter.
Have you lived all your life within the Protectorate? No. What do you know about what makes an Arbiter? I refuse to question the Supreme Arbiter, just as I refuse to cast every belief I hold dear into the mud. Push me no more. Virgil will know what to make of this. Together we'll figure out what to do. I'll message him when we return to the ship. Hopefully he shall respond. Quickly.
Yeah, I almost got lockpick 4, and I knew I should have, but, you know, I guess, you know, my dumbass has to make these mistakes to, learn not to do them. We barely made it in. It's gonna be hell trying to get out of here. Search meshes Dogmere Sharpie. Put passcode continue. Enter Aza's passcode. Aza still lives despite the kill order. The incompetence of the so-called cultist leaves me once again humiliated. By the humblest apologies. To rectify the inexcusable state of affairs, I have sent a cadet of sentinels to extinguish her life using her old friend Acolyte Severin as bait. I must beg one last indulgence, if I may. After Ace is dead, I would like Acolyte Severin delivered to my office for debriefing prior to execution. Effective immediately, the Department of Belief, newly established to the Council, shall handle all matters related to religious developments proctored subjects in our time of conflict. Once the order is returned to Proctored's fold, they shall answer the Department of Belief as led by Council and shall rule upon the religious determination by members of the order before they put it in effect. No exceptions shall be made. We have recently prepared reduction arbiter-centric rooms granting greater space of our increased sentinel numbers. Please take steps to clarify the transition without issue. Any generous submitted through official or unofficial channels will be punished severely. Glory to the Council.
Dagmar didn't betray us to the Sentinels. She is a Sentinel with a fucking office here in Central Control. It's enough to make one take leave of their sanity.
There? If you wish to feel better, try thinking of wanton murder.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Fortunately, there's an easy solution to Dagmar's betrayal. One which involves removing her head from her
getting
body.
Or should I just get 2?
Or maybe we should start with the disemboweling? So many choices.
I mean, I would recommend trying 1 at some point, but if you would rather just jump to 2, you can easily do that without missing anything, pretty much. So 1 and 2 aren't really linked. They're their own separate things, more or less. So you could literally play 2 without playing 1. But 1, I would definitely recommend just playing, maybe, you know, just to see how it was, you know. Get it on a good sale, you know, is what I would recommend. But yeah, 2 you could jump in right away. 2's a lot larger than 1. 1 was a bit condensed, as in they didn't have as much budget to work with as this game. So this game they had a bigger budget. That's quite a bit lengthier. Okay, let's hold off on this disemboweling talk until we confront her in person. Love your consistency, Asa. No matter the questions of murder, always the answer.
Well, as a Helia Leitinger, I suppose I shouldn't be surprised you've made it this far. In addition to your wonderful thirst for wanton violence, you were always bright, though still somehow too thoroughly deluded to apprehend the truth. But then again, you never really wanted to, did you?
You can stop with the coy comments now. Just tell us why you betrayed Asa.
Yes, well, can it truly even be considered betrayal if it was always lies? And Asa's willful ignorance made her the perfect candidate when I started the Dawn at the Consul's behest.
What are you talking about? There were cultists before me.
No, there were not. The fiction of a cult was born out of the need to convince the Sovereign to return to the true spirit of the Protectorate. The Consul feared he was too weak.
How dare you! You shall pay dearly for daring to speak thus, and the Consul shall pay triple.
Retains dreaming of even more power. This would be tedious if it wasn't so terrifying.
I see that Asa isn't the only willfully ignorant person here. Society needs to be controlled for the greater good, by any means necessary. Or would you prefer a more corporate way of life?
Those are my only choices.
If you have issue with the nature of humankind, perhaps you should take it up with the Grand Architect.
Dagmar, all this can't be right. How can you spout such lies? Our cause is righteous. It has to be.
And there it is. I almost felt sorry for you, Azahelia. You were so pathetic. So willing to believe specious arguments backed with only the flimsiest of proofs. Ah, well, such is life. But your usefulness is not yet at an end. Your death will put me back in the Consul's good graces. Goodbye, Asa.
No, that's too quick. What about... No, not painful enough. Yes, that's it. I just need to find a piece of heat-conducting metal and something to peel the skin effectively.
Damn. I know you're upset, but let's table the torture discussion for now.
What, you suddenly take issue with my methods? I can think of no reason to curtail the pleasure of my revenge. Dagmar must die. Violently. Her betrayal warrants no other response.
Saying we shouldn't act rashly. Noted, let's go. That thing was quite tough. At least from the distance. Getting closer made it a lot easier. Toxicity crash threshold. Flip through the book's many pages, they each bear long black redaction lines as actual sentences. Eventually, however, you undirected line stands you out. Past the advanced age, Sovereign Ruben Vernick sought to extend his service proctorate, and accordingly his life. After much experimentation, Sovereign unfortunately passed the age of 115 years old. That's a hell of an age to live to. Damn. Alright, I'm gonna take a break well, not take a break, but I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. When we get back, we will continue playing some more. So yeah, give me a moment. I will be right back. I'm not gonna throw any music on because I'm gonna be back probably before the ad break's over. So I'll be right back. Back.
Everyone's neighbor.
Oh yeah, I forgot I got more companion traits unlocked. I get her melee thing buffed up. evaluation. To unlock the armor, you must complete the evaluation knowledge proctored history. All questions are to be answered properly. Open the vault. Guess the number. Correct, very good. Which way were the original Articles of Confederation flowing? Too stifling. Damn.
Your vitals look grim, Commander.
What's the security measure present in the flagship of Sovereign prevents unauthorized deck access? Damn it.
You're hurt, Commander. Steel yourself.
Arctic's religious developments. For Ascendant? Damn it. Department of Belief. Okay. Criteria: does the proctorate acumen test truly place subjects? Yay, we got in. At the cost of losing a lot of health. Or laughable, what was the first colony ever founded in Arcadia? Even children know that Pioneer's pride, fool. You're making a day shift sentinels look like a bunch of doddering lunkheads. Place the assigned queries with ones that you shan't be able to crack 1,000 millennia. No getting into the armory without bypassing them. If you disable the electric punishment circuitry, I'll let you know in cowardice. All shall know the superiority of the night shift over the day shift. Okay. Oh, I could have just walked over here. Okay, well.
Imbeciles! How did you let Azza get this far? Stop her! She means to assassinate me!
Form up! They're closing in!
I shall run closer to us tonight.
Dagmar would never let herself be cornered. She's sure to have an escape route. We should find it.
You're still alive! Now, let's not be too hasty here. You seem a rational person. There must be something we can do to resolve this peacefully. Please don't let Azza get her hands on me.
Why are you talking to them, Dagmar? I'm the one you must answer to.
Let them talk.
Well, I'm waiting to hear your ineffectual arguments as to why you should be spared. And then I'll kill you. You can start by telling me why. Why'd you do it, and why me?
Why? I'm a loyal subject to the True Protectorate. What other reason is there? When the Consul tasked me to help save the colony, I did not even think to ask why. And you were an obvious choice. So lost, so dead inside. But then you went berserk. I never could have imagined how you'd take to the killing and mayhem. You brought me great praise from the Consul. Until you started asking questions and killing the wrong people.
Like that feel. Exactly, starting a violent cult supposed to save the colony.
The Consul feared that the Sovereign wasn't up to the task he inherited. He actually believed the subjects no longer needed such a firm guiding hand. So the Consul set to creating a challenge for the Sovereign to rise to make manifest the hidden dangers he refused to see. It began with labeling political subversives members of a fictitious cult. When that didn't work, the Consul enlisted me to make the glorious dawn a reality.
Which was when you decided to make Azza the first real cultist.
Enough of this blathering on. It's well past time for Dagmar and her life to part ways.
Oh, nothing left but killing.
She's dead.
Yeah, but she betrayed your trust. I'm sorry.
As am I. Our enthusiasm got the better of us. She should have suffered more. It was too quick a death for one who betrayed not only me, but the whole of the Dawn. Now that Dagmar is dead, I'll be leading the Dawn into the glorious future.
You don't need them. They could turn you into a threat to you.
True. There may be those that do not accept my leadership, but they will die. The Dawn is too important to disband. What little risk any of them may pose doesn't concern me. I can send out a general message from here, informing the cells that the previous exalted leader has betrayed us and has been dealt with, and that I am now in charge. I suspect some will simply jump into the closest rift. And to be perfectly candid, I'm hoping there are more than a few that refuse to acknowledge their new leader. Enough to keep my knife skills up, at least.
Deal with those personally if it comes to that.
It's done. Let's leave this place. It sickens me.
My glorious council, I have much to report. My intuition was correct. I have found a perfect cultist with the right prompting. One of my scientists, Azelia Lithinger, is primed to become an agent of chaos, needed to finally focus the Sovereign's attention. Make her completely dependent on me was shockingly easy. What the fuck? Seems like a lifetime isolation and loneliness has primed her for accepting anything I tell her. As now she thinks of me as her confidant and someone can look to for guidance. Her brilliance stratagem publicizing undesirables as cultists at their executions as are convinced we are a large network already in place. When the time is right, I shall release her into the field and begin recruiting others, sowing chaos. Your Sovereign Dagamir. As per Gloria's plan, sending cultists to places where they can cause the most disruption has been working magnificently. Unfortunately, the religious fervor is beginning to get a better of some of them, and we're losing more rifts every day. We must strengthen the revolution, forbidding them from joining with perfection, lest we have the need to continually replenish supplies of cultists. Losing a few here and there through self-sacrifice, agency, self-inflicted violence, and fighting over our brave soldiers is to be expected. We can't afford to replace them with and maintain the momentum we have achieved. My glorious counsel, I attempted to reign Aza, have been far unsuccessful, but I certain given the time, I'll be able to bring her to heel. If I may be so bold to humbly require eminences, it's really such a great thing to lose a few vigilant here and there. Keeps the threat of our glorious dawn in the forefront of their minds, which in turn applies more and more pressure to the sovereign himself. Perhaps this shall finally force him to act. I know what I've undertaken is righteous, for my counsel told me repeatedly, but actually witness Aza becoming a hollowed in shadow of her former self has been difficult. If the pain she finally released after years of clamping down on her, eating her from within as she unleashes it as anyone and anything around her. It's hard to admit, even myself, that the fondness I found once held for her has turned into a revulsion. I see emptiness in her eyes. Perhaps focusing on the instead of the person I once knew will make it easier for me to issue the kill order on her. Regardless of my personal feelings I may or may not have, I have no choice in the matter. It is the only thing that I could have conceivably get me back into the good graces of the council. Glorious Dawn, we have been destroyed. Our previous exiled leader thought to sell us out to the Sentinels to proctor a miserable life, but do not trouble yourself. She has been dealt with vigorously, and all traitors deserve. Therefore, I have now assumed my rightful role as exiled leader, and I'll accept nothing less than a complete obedience.
Again, Rao. Auntie is bringing the free market to Arcadia. The free market is what allows anyone to choose their path in life. The free market is good.
Free market? Ah, preposterous. If it were free, anyone could take what they wished at any time.
It ain't free like that. It's free in the sense that it's been liberated from outside control. Like the Earth Directorate, or your sovereign. Folk can buy what they want, when they want.
What if someone needs something they cannot pay for?
Then they are free to take on work until they can pay for it. Look, in our society, we ain't limited by ration cards or clearance levels. Only by our industriousness. Inspiring, right?
Yes. The idea of the multitudes needing to slave for basic necessities is truly inspiring. Feelings of revulsion.
Yeah, we still gotta go over there and do that, but yeah, I'm only planning on going for another 30 minutes. I just don't think I want to start anything that's, you know, gonna take too long, you know. Let's go to the crafting bench real quick. And yeah, for some reason I'm getting really tired. I didn't realize that. It actually changes their armor based on what you choose. I didn't realize that. And we also need to get them their level ups. Ooh, that actually might come in handy. It's killed. The effect jumps to all enemies in moderate range, applying effect to them. This can jump multiple times. Guess we'll get hers. Wonder, did I get any like armor that's better than what I have? Oh, hey, look, we got her armor. I didn't realize that. Not too bad though. Once we hit 30, we'll be you're personally getting tired? Yeah, personally I am. I don't know why. I normally don't get tired this time of day, but yeah. We still got a lot more to do though. A lot more to do, but I think we will I think we will continue this another night though, to be honest. We still got the main quest to do, which is quite a bit. I want to see, did the main menu change?
Well, you managed to launch the box station into space. I still think smashing it into a town would have sent a stronger message.
I love this main menu though. Every time it's something new.